room. Yes, you're in the new Providence, where niggas get to snapping like they got no common sense. When we approach with confidence, revoking confidence. His offense limp enough to throw the hardest to the fence. So raw is what he is, you can't stop it like jail runs. And ain't no topping him, he's opposite of well done. Rare without care, put clocks on the line. Comfortable with my flow, it's like I got Crocs on my rhymes. No, rocket science, fuck the...
What's going on, world? It's your boy VO, the face. F4 building, baby. We bringing on all the bells and whistles now. We started to get intros. We started to get a format. One thing that y'all cannot get enough of is VO, the face, Fuss Sports. Remember, we are 50% fuss, 50% fantasy football, and 100% facts. And I'm here with my guys today. We gonna break it down, man. I got my boy Jay Reese.
F4, baby, let's kick this off.
Let's go. I also got Silly C with the numbers.
Haha, it's your boy.
It's your boy. And you got to forgive me, but I got to introduce. Actually, I'm going to let the man that brought him on, Jay Reese, go ahead and introduce our special guest.
Man, this is my boy right here, the man, Ernest Kozic. I like to call him IK because he got a high football IQ. You know what I'm saying? He don't got no perm. But we call my man Big Ern. What's up, baby?
What's up, y'all? Happy to join you all. I'm going to spit some football knowledge on everybody. So let's get it started.
What's up, man? Big Ern, man. We in here and we about to get it popping. We're going to go over all these AFC divisions and we're going to tell you some of the odds and the likely winners as well as over-under win totals and their possibility of coming out the conference. We'll go ahead and get this one pushing. Number one team in the North last year. Who got them?
That would be me, man. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh. What you got to say about Pittsburgh, bro?
So to win the division, they're sitting at plus 440, and the win total is 8.5, man. Let's kick it off like this. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think they're going to get over 8.5.
I think they'll get over. Yeah, that hook kind of had me because I think they'll probably be around 8, but thumbs up. Go ahead, Reese.
Oh, man. All right, man. So let me just kick it off, man. Like, it is time for a storyline. I'm shaking up the tea leaves a little bit. I want to get into the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback room. Now, they're fighting to see who's going to take over for Big Ben or who's going to be his backup. Either way it goes, he's going to be up out of there pretty soon. So they are looking for who's going to be starting. They got Josh Dobbs and who's the boy? Mason Rudolph, real vanilla. Who I'm really liking is Dwayne Haskins. Now, Dwayne Haskins has had his problems. They said he was real immature in Washington. Back in Washington, I'm going to get a little petty, guys. Dwayne Haskins was in a room, not with strippers, but straight women of the night. Prostitutes. The boy is a little wily. And just this past summer, he was out in Vegas with his boys and his current wife. And he tried to pull a move, you know, where you leave your wife in the hotel room and go to the club. This woman caught a hold of this man and literally knocked out his tooth. He was pictured a few days later smiling next to her with the knocked out tooth. I'm like, Dwayne Haskins, what is going on here? Man. But he's been looking real good in camp, guys, and I think he's about to get that number 2 spot.
Yeah, although he's probably lost some teeth lately, it appears to me that he's actually gained some knowledge by working with a veteran like Ben Roethlisberger, which is something he's not known for as far as mentoring young people, but maybe he realizes Dwayne Haskins might not be quite a threat. Ern, what do you think about that wide receiver core in Pittsburgh, man? You got Juju, you got Deontay, you got Chase Claypool. Who do you like most from the Pittsburgh wide receiving core?
Oh man, that room might be the most talented room in the whole NFL, man. You got 3 young wide receivers, kind of can play at all levels of the field. You know, Juju working the middle. You got Claypool going deep, and Deontay is that guy that's gonna move the sticks. So as far as the room goes, man, I like Juju in that room, man. I know that the guy he had a chance to leave this summer, and he got an offer from Kansas City, I believe. So there has to be a reason why he came back, to the Steelers. I think that he's going to be a big part of the game plan every week. And I think, with Big Ben 1 year away, 1 year removed from injury, I think he's going to come back stronger this year. And I think they're going to give it one more shot, to
Man,
try
that
to
makes
ring.
that makes too much sense for him to stay in the Steel City with a team and coaching staff that he's familiar with, as opposed to take that leap to Kansas City. I don't think they like TikToks as much, and we know Juju Corvette. You know what I'm
Dancing on
saying?
the logos.
Yeah, we know all too well about
Yeah,
Juju.
man.
Cody, can you kind of tell me the turning point in the Steelers last season when they went from terrible towels to just terrible? Like, I believe it was after that Corvette incident. And, can you tell me where the turn in the Pittsburgh season was last year?
Pretty much it was after they won the 11th game.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much the turn in their season. They started turning over the ball. The defense efficiency went out the window. Literally, they were, they were a struggling team. And even now this year, I see that one of my interesting standouts this year would be Kellen Ballage. I really want to see what he provides the backfield. So I think he actually come in and actually provide some relief and
Yeah.
some actually big play capabilities there. So I'm very interested to see that piece.
The
Yeah, I
boy
mean,
Kalen Balaj, yes, sir.
yeah, man, you've seen so much turnover in that Pittsburgh Steeler running back core because it used to be Le'Veon, then it went to James Conner, and now neither are there. Le'Veon's still out the league, but let's talk about somebody that is in the league, and that's this entire team of the Cleveland Browns that Cody has to talk about. Give us some stats, give us some numbers on Cleveland.
So first, I want to start with a few of their storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, Greedy Williams was hurt, kind of a freak shoulder incident where he damaged a nerve. So he'll actually be coming back this season. And then they drafted Greg Newsome in the first round to kind of fill some of their gaps that they had in thin and secondary. But one of the main storylines I feel will be how Baker Mayfield steps up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if he can actually continue his play from last year, he did show that he has some, some big play capabilities and stuff of that nature. But another interesting fact as well is, so in 2019 they were struggling as an offensive line, and then they got Bill Callahan as their offensive line coach, and then last year they were number one in the NFL. So one of the big things we'll see this year, especially with an explosive backfield, is where they can actually go, and how good they'll actually be. I think sky's the limit with them.
Yeah, they're actually widely considered the best offensive line in the league. They've even passed up teams like the Raiders and Dallas, who have been very formidable in the past few years.
So yeah, and then currently I have them to win a plus 800 to win the AFC Championship.
What's
And
their over under on their win totals?
their current over under is 9.
9?
Yes.
That's like kind of stingy. I understand the division is ruthless, but I think that's a little stingy. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do they go over 9? Anybody?
I just want to make a slight correction. I caught it on FanDuel at 10.5.
Yeah, that's on
I look-
FanDuel. I look on covers, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a number of betting sites, and they all have different odds. However, at 10.5, I kind of buy that a little more. I might like kind of sit like at 10.5. I think that hook scares me.
You can't
But
you can't push on 10.5, buddy.
yeah.
I
That's why
think
I'm
10
like
and a half
under
is
under
one
10
thing
and a
that we
half,
gotta
but I
The
think
one
double
thing that we
digit
got to
wins.
remember is sorry. The one
Oh,
thing
you
that
good?
we got to remember is there's one extra game. So that 10.5, that's
Yes.
last year's 9.5. You
Yeah,
know, so
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
that's pretty much saying they're gonna be one game above 500. So I think I'm taking that all day.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I definitely believe that, and I'll definitely buy that. Actually, I'm gonna turn into my salesman and try to flip this to Jay Reeves. So everybody is trying to sell the narrative that the Browns' offense is better without Odell Beckham Jr. Are you buying or selling that, man? Like, I know you drafted him. Know he let you down last year. Like, freaking, I was teasing you at the draft room and whatnot. But I mean,
Yeah.
I know what's happened. I know the past. But a team couldn't be better without Odell Beckham. Are you buying or selling that?
I'm gonna have to sell that shit all day long, man. Odell Beckham is the man, and I refuse to give up on him. I mean, he's had a few down seasons. He's been injured. I don't know, man. I think he really gets back to his form, and I'm going to put him at 80 catches, maybe 1,000, 50 reception yards, and I'm gonna give him about 8 touchdowns. I feel like you can't say the team is better without Odell Beckham, man. I feel like he bounces back this year, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do have the guests in the house, man, and I don't know if you're a fan of the show, but Cody gave one of the historically worst takes ever, saying that
Watch,
Kareem
just
Hunt
watch.
had to watch. I mean, Nick Chubb had to watch his job for Kareem Hunt. Are you buying or selling anything that Cody's trying to sell us? Does Kareem Hunt have a
Man,
chance at
I
being
am
the
I
main
am
role?
I am selling that, man. Was
Oh
that before or after
man.
he signed that deal? Was that before or after he signed that deal? Man, that is one of the most complete running back rooms in the NFL, man.
Yes.
You could argue that, you could say that Chubb is probably a top 5 running back in the league. And, if he were to get injured, you probably have a top 5 dude coming in. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, just
facts.
based off past production in the league. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that they are going to skip a beat, and this team wants to run the ball, go off the play action. And I think they're going to be a really, really dangerous team. I mean, people forget, they were kind of a blown call away last year in the playoffs from taking Kansas City out. So, I think they're a stronger team this year. They got dudes coming back from injury as well. So I'm definitely taking maybe 11, 12 wins this year for sure.
Yeah, I think they'll
Okay.
have a big year. Cody, why don't you? I think I've had enough of talking about Cleveland, so why don't you give us the rest of their numbers that you have for them?
Well, so Baker Mayfield's last year was 3,500 yards. Nick Chubb ran for 1,000. Jarvis Landry had 840 receiving yards. Gibson was their top tackler at 91. Also, their top interception person at 2. I really like to see how Odell Beckham comes back from injury and plays into this, and if he cuts into Landry yards, or if Baker Mayfield grows out of his, uh, you know, scaredness and actually puts Odell in there and gets both of them over 1,000.
And then just like a quick yes or no question to the panel, I guess, real quick. Yes or no, is Baker Mayfield a rosterable fantasy quarterback, Jay Reese?
Can I be in the middle on that one? Like, maybe I pick him up one week if he has a good matchup, and then maybe I just leave him on the waiver wire.
I mean, I feel that. I think that they have a role for that, and it's called a spot start. So, I mean, yeah, I think Baker Mayfield would be a
spot
safe,
start. Yeah, all that.
a safe spot start. So, me with Baker, I would like. I'd roster him early in the season and see what happens. Like if you get him in the draft room as your second QB, I wouldn't have a huge problem with that because he has the talent to pop with Njoku, the other tight end that came on really strong last year, as well as his 2 wide receivers that are premium. And passing's not their focus. He's not going to get you a ton of rushing yards, but I'd say you roster him early in the year before the weather gets bad. But, later in the year, I could be good on him. And especially, he's not your starter, so you only need him for the 1 week. I'm on spot start too. Neither me or Jay Reeves gave a yes or no. But I'm going to pass it to Ern. Yes or no, do you start roster Baker Mayfield?
Absolutely not. I would take him. I would take him as a 16th QB in a 16-team league, and even that, I would question my move. So, I think he's a decent quarterback. I think he's good for that team, but we all know what that team runs through, man. It's running the ball, playing good defense, and that's what it is. So I
Yeah.
don't want to go. I don't want to go into every week, saying, oh, is this guy going to have 200 yards and no touchdowns? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I can't deal with with the highs and the lows,
Yeah.
especially when you have a bunch of these
No
young
rushing
guys,
yards.
coming in. So I would rather take my shot on one of those.
Cody, yes or no? Baker Mayfield, is he rosterable?
I have to say yes, but he definitely would have to be definitely like kind of 1-2 punch. So you'd have to have somebody that you'd be willing to, you know, start as well if he had, if he falls, because I think he'll
Definitely.
probably fall. But you can, yes, he is.
Definitely. Well, we'll just keep it pushing, man. Hopefully the Browns bust some heads right this next year. No Miles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? I hope they bust some heads, but not like he did to Rudolph. But we'll go into the next team. The next team in the North, which is the Cincinnati Bengals, even though they finished last, I'm going to give me a second to cook on them, man. Storylines, Joe Burrow coming back from his injury. What will he look like? What will he do? Another storyline, they got him his college teammate, Jamar Chase. What will he look like? What will he do? Stud wide receiving core, but no Hall of Fame bound AJ Green there no more. So they do have T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and the young guy Chase that I already mentioned. I got the worst teams in all these leagues, so you're gonna hear me with bad numbers. Over under 6.5 wins for Cincinnati. Uh, Yeah, the division's too tough. I'm not sure this is a for sure knock on Cincinnati, but it's gonna be tough. Like, they probably go 0-6 in the division. So that's gonna hinder them from getting to that mark. To come out the conference, they're plus 1,600 odds to I'm sorry, to come out the division, they're plus 1,600 odds. To come out the conference, they're plus 6,000. Obviously, this is a super long shot. We've heard of teams going from worst to first, but this one ain't happening. This one
Nah,
ain't happening.
nah.
Actually, the whole AFC is looking like there'll probably be no worst to first flip as far as that goes. But Cody, what do you think about Cincinnati Bengals? Anybody that you'd roster off of them, fantasy football wise?
No,
No.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like the Bengals at all, and especially they said Burrow's been looking. We talked about this the other week, but Burrow's been looking pretty trash. Yeah, I don't see them being good at all.
Jay Reeves and Ern, y'all could just split this, maybe fuss it out. What do you guys think about the Bengals?
Man, I'm gonna keep it quick because we're getting kind of lengthy, man. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. My main thing coming up out of this is they took Jamar Chase over that left tackle. What's his name? Aaron Penny Sewell.
Penny
Yeah,
Sewell.
Panay Sewell, but there was also Rashawn Slater who went a couple picks later to the Chargers. And this dude is probably one of the more complete tackles that we had come out in the last maybe 10 years or so. There's been reports that he's been going one-on-one against the Bosa brother there, and he's been winning a fair share of those reps. So it all starts in the trenches, and when you have a young quarterback, you don't want him to feel rushed. You don't want him, to be, moving in the pocket too much and all that stuff. Especially coming off the ACL. So it's a tough division to play in. So that's why I have him under.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, I felt like it was almost a slap in the face to Joe Burrow, who needs that protection on the line, and my boy T. Higgins, who I really felt was about to. He kind of broke out last year, but I
Yeah.
felt like he was about to all the way flourish this year, and I think that was a wasted pick on Jamar Chase. But yeah, man, let's keep it pushing on to the Ravens.
Yeah, we'll keep it pushing, man. And that last person ain't got no protection, but this next person probably don't need no protection. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and that's who my man Big Earn got. What do you think about the Ravens?
Ravens are plus
Storyline.
one.
Or I'm
Ravens
sorry, over under win totals.
Ravens are plus 115 to win the division,
Mm-hmm.
and their win total 11 wins this year. I'm definitely taking the over on that.
I'm taking the
Yeah,
over.
if you look at their last two seasons with Jackson at quarterback, I mean, running back playing quarterback, but uh, so they're at 14 wins and 11 wins.
Yeah.
The offense remains fairly unchanged. They've added Bateman and Watkins. So Bateman is hurt, but Watkins is there, and I think he'll be pretty good for that young core over there. It's kind of bringing a little veteran presence and kind of help slow things down for all of them.
Yeah.
As far as the defense goes, they lost Matthew Judon and Yannick Ngakwe. But they did add Justin Houston, and then they drafted Odafe Owe.
And I believe
Go
you. I
there.
trust you.
with,
Right
with,
there.
with the 31st pick, and this guy is a defensive end, and he's been the star of the camp.
Yeah.
And I think that this is one of those teams that they can have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense in the league for sure. So I'm definitely taking the over on that.
Yeah, I'm on board with the Ravens, and definitely not only could they have a top 5 offense, a top 5 defense, but they might have a top 5 coach in the league. I know he's sitting there with Tomlin in the AFC North, but Jay Reese, can you give me a little bit of your feelings on the coaching that the Ravens have with Harbaugh?
One of the best in the game, man. His team is like always there at the top. And I mean, the man won the Super Bowl. You can never take that away from him, man. He's a pretty solid coach, man. And he's been there for a while. Has it been over a decade that he's been there?
It has
been.
That's solid, man.
Yeah,
Don't get no better than that.
Yeah, he's solid, but can we verge on great? What will be a great fantasy addition from the Baltimore Ravens, Silly C?
Great fantasy edition.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
When it comes to that, Lamarcus Jackson, do we have to really talk about that?
Do we got to?
You start and stop there.
You can start and stop there. But yeah, I think they might actually have some even, more explosive players, but there's not much to talk about but Lamar.
Definitely, man. Well, I think we gave y'all a lot for that AFC North breakdown. Probably more than we intended to, so we'll just keep it pushing. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out Big Earn for being our special guest today. We got Silly C, Jay Reeves, and myself, VO The Face. We out.
Pleasure to be here.